I asked Coach Rhule kind of his update, his outlook for the spring, because, Casey, at least publicly, when he spoke with me at St. Michael's, said by the end of March, he'll be fully kind of cleared. But what does that mean? How much will he be allowed to do? And even Matt Rhule didn't want to fully commit to kind of what we'll see from Casey Thompson this spring.
Oh, I mean, he kind of did. He just said we're not going to see much. Yeah. He said he may be able to throw at some point, but he basically said don't look for him to practice in any meaningful way. So I thought he kind of closed the door on it a little bit.
Like, I don't expect him to play in the red-white game or anything at this point. I think if he could just get out there and get some throws in, that's probably best case
mental
scenario.
reps.
Yeah, I mean, just given this latest update. Now, Rhule also qualifies, I don't know what he's doing on his own. So, like, he's limited with whatever he's doing with us. But, Casey's a resourceful guy. I'm sure he's finding
that's
ways
an interesting. Yeah, Rob, you picked that out, and I did too. It was interesting that he said that Rhule just dropped in that lineup. I don't know what he's doing away from the facility. Two things struck me on that. I think the head coach maybe should know that. If he really doesn't. Now, the other part of that is Casey's 24 years old, and there's probably a pretty high degree of trust that Casey knows what he's doing. I still think the head coach should kind of know what's going on there,
especially with the guy that potentially could be your starting quarterback.
Absolutely,
you'd think that you'd want to keep tabs on that and what he's doing off the field.
Yeah, and my guess is he does know, actually, or has a pretty good handle on it. Sean's a big Sims guy, so we'll see where that all goes.
Did this update change anything with you? I know this the Thompson Sims debate.
No, I've always been of the mind, guys, that Casey's not going to be able to win a job in the spring, obviously. Now,
but the fact that he's hardly going to be able to do anything, I mean, how far does that set him back?
So what happens now is June becomes very big, and July, mostly June. June becomes a critical month for Casey because you can make up some ground. It's organized. It's not just, hey, guys,
you're running 7-on-7.
Yeah, we're going to go out and run some verticals today, and nobody's keeping track. No, it's
charted.
Yeah, it's charted, and it's pretty organized. And I think, I mean, from talking to Charles, that's Casey's kind of banking on starting to make his push in June.
You're listening here to the Husker Online Show. Was that also interesting to hear him talk about Chubba Purdy?
Yeah.
Heinrich Harburg. Did he mention Logan too?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, I was going to say, I don't remember Logan.
No, he didn't mention
But
Logan,
he talked about the speed of Harburg and Purdy as two of the fastest mile-per-hour guys on the team.
I did not know that about Chubba.
Well, Chubba ran. Okay, when I interviewed Chubba back in those early recruiting interviews, he ran in the 4.5s in high school. He was fast.
That's fast.
He's explosive. His body, his foot, and he's had some injuries between his time at Florida State, collarbone injury, and then obviously last year in Nebraska.
Well, the thing that Chubba will emphasize is that coming out of high school, he was a dual threat quarterback. I mean, he was regarded as a runner. So he has that part. We all know Heinrich is a fabulous athlete. I mean, he's one of the better looking athletes over there. But still did surprise me when Rhule said those were two of the fastest guys in terms of mile per hour.
Well, Gabe Irvin's one of them
that they have. Yeah, Irvin.
Tommy Hill's one of them.
Yep.
I want to ask you guys, and Sean, I'll start with you. This was brought up on the chat this week, where with all this rave about Harburg's athleticism and his size, people keep wanting to know, is there a chance would he change positions? What do you think?
I think that conversation, if it comes, would have to come after the spring. I think they probably want to see what they have with him.
Yeah.
Because you could be down to, the transfer portal could hit you quickly at that position, and then all of a sudden he's your third guy.
Yeah, good point.
Like, what's Logan?
What are you looking at? Jarrett Sinek was getting snaps at Michigan,
and now he left. Sinek's gone.
I mean, that's amazing. So if you're looking at Heinrich in another position, are we talking about tight end?
Tight end,
yeah.
Is that something you think he'd be receptive to, or is he gonna be like, no, I'm gonna go play quarterback somewhere else?
He's got a lot of good mechanics the way he throws the ball, but what kind of opportunities is he going to get at quarterback?
Yeah, he's got to. I think that operating in an offense that's pretty complex is more challenging for some guys than others.
Would North Dakota State, like, they like quarterbacks like that? Would they look at a guy like that in a transfer there? I mean, there's places like that you wonder. South Dakota State.
Don't know.
But he's invested so much in being a quarterback. I mean, He's got really good mechanics and the way he throws the ball. And so
Mhm.
there's a lot there to Heinrich Haarberg.
I think so. I mean, those guys after Sims and Casey, or Casey and Sims, they need to step up. I mean, Chuba needs to grow as a quarterback quickly. Torres needs to grow. I mean, you got to have a reliable 3 because of what you're saying. Heinrich too. Those are your guys.
Yeah, I think that is kind of a question. I don't know if it's necessarily a spring question as much as a fall question, but who is the number 3?
Yeah, that's always a question. Yeah.
I mean, we know who the top 2 are. Who's the third?
Mhm. Yeah.
And that's a question that could change probably every single day.